What did Logan Paul say? I basically had a take that Floyd Mayweather should be embarrassed for the Logan Paul performance and how it was actually competitive and he should have destroyed Logan Paul. So my title was Logan Paul versus Floyd Mayweather should have been a draw. Because it was that shit, basically, was my take. And Logan Paul joined the chat and said, thanks, bro. And then he left. We saw Paddy in moments with Chandler, legit swing, slow hooks. We think that if Charles doesn't stand in Ilia's face and is just defending while throwing kicks and shooting for takedowns in the later rounds, would the result be different? Yeah, but that's not what Charles does. So, yeah, if Charles Oliveira wasn't Charles Oliveira and didn't fight like Charles Oliveira or do anything that Charles Oliveira does, he probably could have won against Ilia Topuria. You are correct, to be fair. I didn't think about that. No, but true. Yeah, Oliveira fought dumb to fight Topuria. But he does that all the time. I'm doing that with fighters now. I always predict fights by saying, even with the O'Malley and Merab thing, I predict fights like saying what the fighter should do in order to win. I'm not doing that anymore, you know? Even if I can see them being able to do it, I'm just going to pick what the fighter does every time. Because fighters don't change. They make the same mistakes every fight. They don't improve. How would you feel about a Pyfer versus Rodriguez fight? I love that fight. I just don't think it would sync up time-wise. Because you know what? Unpopular opinion, chat. Hermansson was on his way to another absolute fucking mark. How would Chandler get a fucking rematch in that situation either? That's crazy. Arman deserves it next. Do Paddy Gaethje in October. I don't like that Arman's just getting the shot, though, man. He's been out for so long. Get Arman another win first, and then do him for the title next. Book Arman versus Dan Hooker on the fucking Plessis versus Chimaev pay-per-view, and then have the winner fight for the title in December if it's Arman, which it probably will be. Let's get fights booked. Let's get these guys really good resumes before they go in there against Ilia Topuria right now. Ilia Topuria, chat, yes or no, is the standard of mixed martial arts right now. So whoever his opponent is going to represent who is the second best guy, who is the challenge to the most skilled fighter in the UFC, Ilia Topuria. So we need to make sure that when the casual fans see that, it's not some random guy that hasn't fought in 13 months and has a decision win, split decision against Charles Oliveira. We need someone who's actually just had a finish against a Dan Hooker and they've got a resume, and then Arman's got wins over Beneil Dariush, Dan Hooker, Charles Oliveira, and it looks like a really good resume. You know, when Ilia's the standard and the best, you want to make sure that the opponents you're putting up against him isn't someone who ain't fought in ages and only has one decent win. Unless it's Pimblett, but you have to make sure that he gets to win over Gaethje first, because that's the only way you can justify it. You can't justify making the fight right now. Who can you see giving Ilia trouble, Paddy? Relax, George Floyd. I know I can't breathe. I don't know. Reach on your high score. This is dumb, but at this point, do you think Ilia wins at 170? I think JDM would get him, but I don't know. No way Ilia hits harder, but it feels like it, which is insane. No, I think JDM, chat, yes or no. I think he would jab with Ilia, and I think JDM would roll with Ilia's shots. JDM's not going to go into an Ilia Topuria punch and get dropped and slept. I think Ilia would crack JDM on the chin, but JDM would move with the shots. He's got that level of boxing defense where I don't think someone's going to catch JDM with a punch that he doesn't see coming or anything like that. So JDM would probably just stay long with a jab to the body on Ilia as well, and like go calf kicks at range and play that game while being way bigger and therefore hurting Ilia a lot more. So I go JDM busting up Ilia Topuria. He's too big, man. He's too big. He's like a just scale stretched Poirier by like a certain amount, like 25% increase of size. Hairline reveal. Done it many times. The whores you'd pull in America, think about it. You can't stay a virgin forever. I'm not a virgin and I'm not attracted to whores, chat. You guys disgrace whores all day long online, and the second one of them offers you pussy, you fucking beg for it, mate. I'm not attracted to whores. I'm not a whore myself of a man. Either. Understood? No, but genuinely it disgusts me. But I don't think that women like just like who've had, you know, multiple sexual partners are whores per se. There's a tone to it, you know what I mean? There's an energy to their movements that they're making make them a whore. It's not just a number. Well, thank you for that, Sheepherder 911. This ain't no weight drained volume fighter though. I now no longer know what we're talking about. Everyone says that until a short honey grinds on you. I disagree. I find it rank. Unless I'm drunk, which I'm not. This is why you got to stop being drunk. It makes you okay with things that you wouldn't be okay with sober. No, you can have a higher body count. One girl can have a higher body count than another girl and not be a whore. And the other one can be a whore. If a girl's had like 6 attempts at a relationship that haven't worked out, that's fine. If she got gangbanged in a toilet at a festival by 4 men, that's more disgusting to me than the 6. You know, there's context to it at least. Impression of Paddy and Tom watching you get slept by wings. Paddy and Tom watching you get slept by wings. That would never happen, so I can't possibly do the impression. What about that black girl you slept with? You think she wasn't a whore? Nah, we were like this. We were connected on a different level. Thank you for the $1 JB or JG. Surprised it wasn't a man in Jones's passenger seat. All right, thank you for the $2. Pat Sabatini in the chat. What's up, Pat Sabatini? What's up, brother? He's not in here. It's a lie. It's all a goddamn lie. Okay, Guru, be honest. You linking up with a female fan, bro? I get some messages now and then, but I don't really entertain it that much. I might say thanks for the support or like laugh along with it or something, but nah, I'm not getting baited by that shit, man. Why are people so worried about your sex life? Because I've made a career making fun of John Jones's and Ian Gary's and Nina Dramas. So now everyone cares about mine. Thank you for the $2. I don't know, people forget, man. Wings is an undefeated boxer. He is. Look what he did to Boogie 2988. He maraudered him. Would you rather link up with Habib or Marab? Habib Abdulmanapovich Nurmagomedov. No, Marab. Guru, I think Oliveira would be going for head kick. What time is it over there? It's 4:40 a.m. What would Volk's game plan be, you think? Go low on the calf kicks. Inside low kicks is good because it gives you more of a... they can't work off balancing you as much if you go for inside low kicks. Like, you're more able to control the sort of direction of their wrestling rather than them getting their foot to the outside position. So inside low kicks I like for Volk in that fight. Just for points. Keep him busy. Points, rangefinders, jabs. And just seeing if you can get Evloev to wrestle a bit, you know. Like, choose the terms in which the wrestling happens. Don't let him surprise you with a takedown. Be at peace with it. Let him. First round, see what he wants. See what he wants in the grappling. See if you can do some damage. See how strong you feel against him. Then once Volk feels that for a round, will he then start picking up confidence and start working his game, you know. How pleased would you be if you fight bedtime and Lucas gave you a blam? All right, we're not doing Blumpkin thing again. Such a shame we might have to waste a Volk fight versus Yair. I hate that, yeah, because Yair is so risky for anyone. But Volk, it will mean, yes or no, chat, you will look back. If he fights Yair Rodriguez again, it will mean nothing on his resume. Yes or no? I honestly think, yes, it will mean nothing on his resume. You will look back at Volk's resume and go, oh yeah, and then that random Yair rematch. That doesn't mean anything. And you'll just move on to whatever other name there is. I fucking hate that, dude. Because it's such a long training camp for him at this age. And a risk of a matchup that he'll probably win, but he'll get no credit for. Because it's not worth the credit. Because Yair does not deserve a fucking title shot. It's a fucking mess. I think what Volk is doing, though, and I saw him say this in an interview, is he said he's going to see what happens in Evloev versus Pico. So that's promising. That tells me that the UFC is saying, if you want to fight now, it has to be Yair. So Volk's actually taking a second and going, hang on a minute. He's actually going, hang on a minute here. And he's going to see what happens in Evloev versus Pico first. Because if Evloev wins that, Volk could try and get him on a quick turnaround in Abu Dhabi. You know, in October. Which is going to be a stacked card, by the way. No donations in the members. UFC is so dumb for not making Yair Lopez. Yair turned it down, Lopez said. Here's the thing, yeah. UFC. You offered Lopez and Yair the fight, UFC Noche main event. This is why Lopez is now main eventing against Gene Silva. Lopez said they offered it to Yair and he turned it down. If they then give Yair a title shot after he turned that down, what are we doing as a company? Like, genuinely, what the fuck are they doing as a company? It doesn't make any sense. Old school guru will always look away from the screen, not reading to troll chat. Real ones remember shit pissed us off so much. Okay. Just looking off like this. What was I doing when I was doing that? Did I have 2 monitors at some point? I might have had 2 monitors at some point. Yeah, maybe in the shed I had 2 monitors actually for a moment in time. Yeah, for a moment in time in the shed I think I may have had 2. Oh, it was They Are Billions. That's what it was. It was They Are Billions on another monitor, or even on the wider monitor that I have. Not this one. There's another one I have that's wider. That's what it was. They Are Billions. Dude, I was hooked to They Are Billions for a long time. Long time. No, not one screen for gooning. North County area, San Diego is at least Ask Paddy. Is elite Ask Paddy. North County area, San Diego. Why would Paddy Pimblett know about that? Do you think the UFC secretly loves you due to the eyes you've brought to the sport? I'd imagine they have a love-hate relationship with you. I think there is a bit of that. Like, there's probably some staff members that do enjoy me, and then there's another one that I've directly insulted that hates me or something. So I could see a bit of a rift where they do enjoy that I'm bringing hype to certain things. Washington State, crappy weather, similar UK raining season. Your pick. All right, I don't know. I've never been. Enough now. Enough. Every fucking stream. I've never been to the USA. I'm not picking my state forever. Fuck, man. Let me travel there first. Let me actually visit it before I determine where I'm going to move for life. Did you see Till's mate from Fight Gargoyles say that all the flyweights are 5'2 to 5'4"? What year are these cunts in, for fuck's sake? Till's mate from Fight Gargoyle. Till's mate. All right. Nick Pete from Fight Disciples says all the flyweights are 5'2 to 5'4". Most of them are 5'6", 5'7" these days. Yeah, he's off. DJ was the smallest one, and he's 5'4". So, you know. And I'm like a foot taller than him. So I feel like, yeah, most of them are taller. Most of them are taller than DJ, 100% now. They're like 5'7", 5'8", which is crazy because that's the average height of a man. And it's the lowest weight class in the UFC, which is pretty weird. Dollars, do an impression of Kayla Harrison and Cyborg comparing schlong sizes. Thank you very much for the $5.
Man, let me tell you, man. I show you mine, man. Get yours out on the table too, man. I show you mine, man. Get yours out on the table too, man.
All right, Cyborg, I'm about to get mine out. I'm going to put mine on the table and you judge for yourself. Here it comes.
Holy shit, man. What the fuck?
Thank you for the 2. Thank you for the 5. Thank you for the 2. Thank you for the 5. Appreciate that. Thank you for the 2. Thank you for the 5. ROS Maho. Supporter for a while now. Appreciate you. Bisping Hall of Fame was mad precedent. Was a bad precedent. It was. It actually really was. I agree. I think Bisping's cool dude. I think he's an inspirational story to do what he did with one eye. But I think it's because he did it with one eye, right, chat? Yes or no, chat? If Bisping didn't have one eye and did the same exact career, he's not in the Hall of Fame, right? No chance he's in the fucking Hall of Fame. But because of his eye and then being able to bounce back and win the championship with no depth perception, That's what made him a Hall of Famer, right? That's got to be mentioned, and that's something that's good to include in Hall of Fame in like a combat sport, because it's like the epitome of toughness. You know what I'm saying? Let's not act like Bisping ain't some fucking savage here, even though he isn't the best fighter, and wasn't one of the best champs, and lost and should have lost to a 50-year-old Dan Henderson in his first title defense that he took instead of fighting Whitaker or Romero or anyone. Put respect on Bisping. I just did. If he didn't have one eye, he would have been a better fighter, though. Yeah, but you don't know if his career would have played out the same. Why isn't Nick Newell in the Hall of Fame? Lol. Because he didn't actually achieve anything. He just had one arm and got beaten up by Justin Gaethje.
The fight's in August in Chicago. Yes. Wanna go?
Let's do it.
We're gonna go Miami and LA.
It's going to be a big card.
Might as well go to Chicago.
It's going to be a big card. The co-main event is Paddy, Pimblett and Justin Gaethje. That's an awesome fight.
That's going to be a sick
Awesome
one.
fight.
It's gonna be a good fight, man. Comes like a new man, crazy.
Way too out of the way. Check DMs for a clip. I shall. Shallington. No public transportation there. That's fine. I get a flight. I'll catch a flight, yo. Paddy versus Justin Serra. I've seen the clip. Does he say 319? Yeah, again, he never said 319. He never said it. He said, it's going to be a great card. Co-main event, Paddy versus Justin Gaethje. It's not 319. He never once said it. It's just because it's Duplessis, they assume that he's talking about his card. But in that clip I just saw there, he never said 319. And I see 319 because he's convincing the guy to go to Chicago for the fight and said the co-main is Paddy Justin. But it's literally fucking impossible for that fight to be booked for 319 now. 319 16th of August. Come this weekend, that's 6 weeks away. It's not, it just can't be. It can't be that card. Why would he know 320's co-main? Why would he know the co-main in general before it's booked? There's no way Pimblett is making lean, in shape, ready for a title elimination bout, Paddy Pimblett shape, in 6 weeks after the state of him at the cage side at UFC 317. It's just not possible. It's literally impossible. He couldn't if he wanted to. The cut starts now. No, because he would want to sort of be in shape further out. This is the big one for him, you know. He's 197 right now, yeah. He's massive. Come to Rhode Island, Puru. No. No, hoo-hoo. Dead! Is it true Gaethje Paddy leak on DDP card? True. Well, no, they said, DDP was saying that would be the UFC 320 main event, or the co-main event of UFC 320, so it's not on DDP's card. He was talking about the one later that year. Or this year. Paddy beats Gaethje in the first round knockout. I don't think he knocks him out. I think he'll like crack him, shoot a takedown, get it, and get the takedown on Gaethje, maybe take his back. Did Jack pass away? Jack Hermanson? No, he is still with us. He's still breathing and with us. Moicano's live. Donate to him. He needs money. Oh, shit. My bad, bro. My bad. Some shit like that. Did you see DDP allegedly spoiling 319 co-main? It's not 319. I don't think he's talking about 319. I think he's talking about UFC 320. I think you guys are mishearing that. I'm pretty sure he said the October card co-main event is Pimblett versus Gaethje. It's not the main event of the fight in 7 weeks. I don't know if you've seen Pimblett recently, but he's not 7 weeks out from a fight with Gaethje. Should we start looking into Ghan gay evidence? I'm not sure, but he is French, so I think that rests the case, to be honest with you. I think that's case closed. The guy's French. He must be gay. Looks like you've been doing pen much for the £5 comedy mothership. Unbelievable. Big up, Piggy. Hope you're having a good one, G. Thank you. Pimblett mashes up Gaethje. Silly fight to make. It is an incredibly silly fight to make. It's a disgrace. It's disgusting. And that is all. But I like the fight. Actually, I disagree with everything I just said. And I think that Pimblett will beat Gaethje. And I like the fight. I think it's a huge fight, and we need huge fights right now. And then we can do Arman Tsarukyan versus Dan Hooker. And that has beef as well. Have you been crashing out about Glastonbury? Dude, you know political shit can't make me crash out anymore. I have a new... Political shit don't make me crash out anymore, man. 6'4", capped delts, and a 32-inch belt. My pigger. Thank you for the £2, Reese Thompson. Yeah, I've seen all the Glastonbury shit, but I really just don't care anymore, man. I'm so over it. This would just be way too big and rangy for him and probably piece him the fuck up at range. Funnier fight, Gaethje, Paddy, or Olives Max? Need both. Gaethje, Paddy. Funner fight. No, Oliveira Max is good, but Gaethje, Paddy is the more fun fight right now in terms of both being off wins. DDP leaked 319 co-main. I've seen, yeah, I saw it on Twitter. I don't think it was 319. No, I think he was talking about the October pay-per-view. Because that can't be the 319 co-main. Pimblett would never be in shape enough for that time of fight. So he was talking about 320. Again, I can't breathe. Why can't I breathe? Like, there's no air. Not enough oxygen in the air. I don't know what's going on with me. Maybe it's just that hot and humid. Strategically, what would Islam's path be to victory be against Topuria? He just seems unbeatable at the moment, but Volk and Max were winning rounds against him. Because Volk and Max are legit good strikers. Makhachev's a good striker when the guy in front of him is terrified of being taken down. There's a difference. You know what I'm saying? So I think that Makhachev's just blast kicks into Ilia Topuria's arms. Blast kicks into him at range. Body, head, inside low kicks. I don't think he would exchange with any punches with Ilia Topuria. And then try and grapple up against the cage and just get a hold of Ilia. Knee him to the thigh a little bit, you know? Not even go for a full all-in takedown. Just make Ilia work out of certain positions. Probably be what's best for Makhachev. You see DDP leak Justin versus Paddy for the co-main in Chicago. Again, I'm going to answer this 50 times today. He didn't leak it for Chicago. He was talking about UFC 320. They can't do Gaethje versus Pimblett in Chicago on 319. I think he meant UFC 320. So maybe that is in Chicago, but it's not on the card that Plessis is on. So whatever the card is in October, that's the one he was talking about. So that might be true. But there's no way Pimblett's making weight in 7 weeks. Helped Askren out, and maybe the money's going to go to them. I don't know. Yeah, I saw Gaethje Paddy got leaked by Dricus du Plessis. I don't know how real it is, or if he just heard some discussion of that fight being made and doesn't really know if it is or not. But yeah, man. Gaethje versus Pimblett's a big, big fight. Can you make a video about Khalil Roundtree Colt? No, it's so late and there's no point. It's been made so much. Gaethje is so dog poo. Ilia subs him in 2 minutes. I think Ilia would beat him very easily. I don't think he'd submit him either. I think he'd just knock him out. Out cold. MMA Chase says, I'm elite at the back foot. Ilia is done. Elite on the back foot, Islam Makhachev. Oh, yeah, because he landed a couple of shots that one time on the counter on Poirier that did nothing to Poirier. Oh, I forgot about that, yeah. Dude, Makhachev's a fucking problem on the back foot. He kind of outpointed Volkanovski in a couple moments on the feet. People forget, man. Makhachev landed a check hook on Volkanovski. People forget, man. Do you think Ilia will retire undefeated? Yes, I do. I don't see anyone beating Ilia Topuria. I don't see it. Piggy finally putting in a shift. Dude, I'm live. We're doing things. Reminded that 50% of all people have no inner monologue and exist without any internal debate of any kind. Are you one of these NPCs? No, not whatsoever. In fact, I have too much internal monologue. It hurts. I wish I was. Yeah, same here. 50 rubies. I wish I was. But that is scary though, right? Like there's also like a large percentage of people that can't imagine an apple in their head. I saw that as well. There's a fucking majority of human beings on earth that can't visualize things in their head. Like I can see an apple in my head right now, and I can turn it round on an imaginary microwave plate. I can even hear the noise and the ding of the microwave, but most people can't even do that with their brains. So this is why democracy is a fallacy, and we need to stop certain people being allowed to vote. Hey Guru, I really think Islam Ahmed ragdoll Charles.